Okay, so this is my new game for helping me learn Japanese words. It also helps you learn the basic alphabet for hiragana and katakana. I call the game Jisho Warrior, and it's kind of like a little dungeon runner where you face monsters, and to defeat them, you have to attack them with your knowledge of Japanese words and sounds. So, jumping into it pretty quickly to demonstrate the gameplay, we'll just do a very simple test level. So, this is the world select. Here, you would just select which level you want to play. So, you can see here, like their family tree, your family tree, body parts and descriptions. Then you have more rudimentary things like here's katakana, level 1, 2, and here's hiragana as well. I'll just walk you through the test one to demonstrate gameplay, which may change, but basically you kind of run through the dungeon, and when you encounter a monster, then you enter into this turn-based scenario where you can choose an item, you can run away, or you can use an attack. So your attack is going to be kana, or in the more later levels when you're completed the sounds, you can use kanji as well. So here you now are attacking, and you have to solve for E or A. So you choose the correct sound and then you perform the attack. So you kind of just go through that. This is a different monster, even though it uses the same art. So this monster has more health. You'd say it's kind of like a tougher monster. The thing is, like, the monsters get tougher regardless based on how much you actually know. Oops, wrong one. About it. So the difficulty really only scales with your knowledge. So in general, like, monsters might only have like 1 to 3 HP. But what I'd like to do is kind of like make it so that at the later levels they do have more HP, and then you just upgrade your gear, and you kind of have to like grind through and practice your knowledge in the earlier levels to unlock that gear. So you can see that in a second. It's not really complete, but so here we have the more levels. So it'd be katakana level 1, 2, and 3, and there's also hiragana 1, 2, 3. They're kind of like the basic sounds, and like the third level is like kind of everything all together. Probably need some restructuring on that. But here's an example, some base works. So it changes into the later levels when you start getting to actual words and using your knowledge of this kana sounds. So here, use kanji, or you can use kana. Also, just to demonstrate quickly here, you can use items. So you can use a potion, or you can use the shield. These items you'd have to buy ahead of time, back at the market. But for example, if you use the shield, you can see here it says guard is true, and so if you get it wrong, it prevents you from taking damage. So if you do kana and then akuma, it does damage. Jidensha, yeah. And then here operating, you can also do kanji. So eki. So you can see like this, it kind of like provides more symbolism. Here, I actually don't know this one. Oh, there we go. So yeah, it really helps you kind of like practice your kanji and also your words. So this is kind of the way that I learn words in Japanese. I can only like really put together with pictures. If you do get hit, let's just do this wrong. The guard worked, so he just blocked the attack and I didn't take any damage. So this would help the player kind of like, if they want to like last longer through a certain level that they're trying to practice certain words, it'd help them with that. And then if you die, you just lose and you have to restart. You can also just run away if you want to end the level. And yeah, so going back to the town square, you know, here, this is kind of like, I based this menu off of Etern Odyssey, kind of menu system, and also a little bit of Dragon's Crown. So you go to the dojo. This is where you can upgrade your character. So I imagine you would be selling, you trade in your currency from what you earned from the levels to upgrade your character, so you can take on later levels. Yeah. Then there's also the apothecary. So here is just kind of like a shop. I imagine there'll be an NPC here, animated, and then you can buy a potion or shield as well. Very simple. Same thing in dojo. I'd imagine there'd be an NPC here as well. Kind of just like some nice background NPC to make it more interesting. Not a lot of text. I don't think there needs to be a lot of dialogue in this game. I think it's just mainly to make it more appealing. The temple, there currently isn't anything, but the idea would be here that you could go through your dictionary and go through every word, and with every word you can see your proficiency, how many times you got it correct and how many times you got it wrong. So I imagine there'd be an NPC here, and there'd just be a giant list, and it'd also mark your proficiency for each word, so you can see how you're doing. Oh, and I just pressed escape. So that's kind of the basic idea. The game works fully with a controller as well as the keyboard, but I'm mainly targeting for the Steam Deck because that's what I play on, and also my Linux laptop. So I don't currently have any plans to distribute it to any other stores other than Steam for Steam Deck. So that's kind of the plan, but this is kind of the idea. You can actually try this right now on itch.io. I'll put a link in the description, but you'll only be able to try it if you have Arch Linux or a Steam Deck. So, or at least like a latest version of Linux with a fairly modern kernel or glibc, which is a little bit too technical. So yeah. Anyways, hope you enjoyed that.